Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to FYI Gaming News. This week we got a ton of delays. We're going to talk about some DLCs and some crazy WoW players. We know all WoW players are crazy, but we're talking about the really crazy ones. Alright, so you guys want the good news or the bad news first? Bad news? Okay, the bad news. Bad news is that there's delays. Delays like crazy! Early news in the week, we all saw that BioShock 2 was delayed. Originally scheduled to release in November of this year, it's been pushed to the first half of 2010, so that means it could be anywhere from January to June. The Fallout DLC for the PS3 has been delayed too. They said because it's an additional 4 to 6 hours of gameplay, and that takes a lot of time. MAG got a big fat delay also, so now we have to wait for 2010 to have a 256-person scrum. And remember how I told you that Dirt 2 is delayed on the PC? Well, it still is. The only good thing is the consoles is still coming out in September. Wait a minute, talking to Dirt 2 fans. The Dirt 2 games can be late on the PC, but if you've got a console like a PS3 or Xbox 360, it's going to be right on time to hold you over till deer hunting season. Hope that helps. And Wolfenstein isn't getting released on August 4th like they originally said, but it's only been pushed a couple weeks, which isn't a big deal. And the reason they pushed it is so they can get simultaneous global release. Speaking of, here's a game that doesn't do that. Bayonetta. Bayonetta's been pushed for the North American release. It's going to appear here in January 2010. However, in Japan, it's still right on time for release, October 29th. Damn it! And in news for games that are actually selling, Prototype outsold Infamous, but I'm not really surprised about that. Prototype was a cross-platform release. Infamous was PS3 exclusive only. In fact, on the PS3, Infamous outsold Prototype 35 to 50%. I'm actually getting tired of people comparing those two games. Why are they comparing them? They're both free running. That's pretty much where the similarities end. It's ridiculous. Can we stop comparing them now? Thanks. Michael Jackson is going to live on in a video game. They're actually making a new one. They use his likeness, they use his voice, they use his songs. However, this game doesn't have a name. No one has a name for this game. And it's supposed to come out in this holiday season. We should know more about a game that's coming out this holiday season. The new MMO, Star Wars Old Republic, is actually going to be completely voiced. It's so massive that it has 40 novels worth of literature. Hundreds of actors have been used to do voice work for the game. And the size of the script is 10 times that of Knights of the Old Republic. That is crazy. Left 4 Dead 2 is actually going to have a playable scenario. It's called Swamp Fever. We hear they're going to be releasing some new items, so we're going to find out a lot about Left 4 Dead 2 next week. And Dragon Age is coming to the 360. It's actually set to release this year. It's supposedly just this massive single-player role-playing game. It's like a Dark Times with dragons, obviously. They claim to have 80 to 100 hours of gameplay, which is really massive. And it's made by BioWare, who of course made Baldur's Gate and Mass Effect. So there's a lot to look forward to with that game. The great part about Dragon Age, other than the game itself, is the fact that if you buy the Collector's Edition, it comes with exclusive content for Mass Effect 2. MYST is coming to the PSP. They're actually porting it over. They're going to add some more gameplay to the game also, some missing things from the original. So if you're one of the 4 people who actually own and like your PSP, this is a must-buy for you guys. Alright, here's some news for you. Alright, the UFC hates EA. And it's not like I can blame them. Not 2 years ago, EA told the UFC, you are not a real sport, and we're not going to make a game for you. But now the UFC has had really, really great success in the video game era, EA said, hey, we want a piece of that, so we're going to start buying players out from the UFC. Well, guess what? President Dana White said, oh, no, you're not. And, in fact, if any of my players do sign with EA, they're not going to be the UFC anymore anyway. So we'll see how this pans out, but I'm totally back this guy. Dana White is right. He's been totally stuck up the butt by EA earlier, and now he's sticking up for himself, saying, screw you, I'm sticking with THQ, who actually took a chance on us. Way to go, dude. You are a freaking winner. You win this week. Great job, Dana White. Keep that crap up, man. As all of you probably already know, the Modern Warfare 2 Prestige Pack is going to come with some real working night vision goggles. Okay, but here's the thing. There's a price tag of $150 on this thing. Now, you figure a game is $60, and the rest might be these goggles and maybe a little bit of fluff that comes with it in a tin case or whatever. But when you buy night vision goggles, and they're basically $100, they're going to be terrible. So chances are these are going to be really good on the little foam head that comes with the game, and they're just going to sit in the corner. But if they're great goggles, that will be awesome. I can't wait to find out if they really are good or not. Okay, so I figured that I can save tons of money if I just make my own NVGs. I mean, right? So let's go test them out. I just made these. These are friggin' sweet. Let's do it. do this in here. Nice dark bathroom. Shut the door. Turn off the lights. Alright. Okay. Yeah, these don't work as freaking... And Xbox 360 owners actually unlocked Coral Sea the other day, and they did it in record fashion because they outpaced PS3 owners nearly 2-1. They might have done it even faster too if DICE could get their shit together and keep people from dropping from that game constantly. It's time for Crazy Gamer News! And we got 3 crazy gamers here, guys, and I'm not just talking crazy, I'm talking crazy and kind of scary. The first one had the SWAT team called on him. That's right, a SWAT team. Some neighbors complained, police showed up at his door, he went a little insane, locked the doors, police called the SWAT team, they showed up, coaxed him out, finally at 4:41 p.m. 4:41 p.m. What was he doing for 21 minutes? Needless to say, the New Jersey man was taken to a psychological ward. Yeah, no shit. And WoW players are crazy. Crazy! Some 18-year-old from Greenwood, Indiana, decided it was a good idea to go into WoW and on the game boards. He was quoted to say, and I want to get this right, he was going to board a plane at 7:30 to Chicago and that he was going to try to kill as many Americans as possible. He told the FBI that he was hacked. Well, that was BS because he finally fessed up and said, yeah, I did it, but I didn't think you'd take me seriously. Well, guess what? They did take you seriously, and now you're under FBI investigation. Congratulations, you freaking moron! But the biggest dirtbag I'm saving for last. His name is Morgan Douglas Jones. He's 27 years old, and after his wife left him, he decided he was going to go hook up with his in-game lover from, guess where, World of Warcraft. This wouldn't be a big deal, except that she's 14 years old. She was having some issues with her parents, like normal teenagers usually do, so he decides he's going to go help her. So he drives all the way to Idaho. He picks her up, and he stops several times to have sex with her from Idaho to Washington. Oh, what a sleaze freaking bag. Finally, he was arrested. He's been sentenced to 9 years in jail as a sex offender, and of course, once he's released, he'll be monitored for 50 years. Parents, I'm asking you please, if your kids go online, just keep an eye on what they're doing. You don't have to freaking stalk your children, but they might have a crazy stalker. This story could have ended up way worse than just some girl getting kind of abducted across state lines and having consensual sex. She could have been dead, somewhere, and never found her, and never know who did it. Just keep an eye on your kids. Have some idea what they're doing, please. There's a Wii Firmware update to 4.1 available, so if you haven't turned on your Wii and it's collecting dust, go ahead and flip it on. You can watch the little blue glowies go off, and now you're going to get the 4.1 update. And there's good news for all you perverts out there who own Street Fighter 4 on the PC. There's a Cammy Nude skin available, so go download that. And if you want to check it out and you don't have it, there's a little linky in the sidebar if you want to go check that out. Sony is saying the PS3i is going to be able to support facial recognition. And if that's not enough, it's also going to be able to determine your sex.
Scanning skeleton. Done. Hello, RSQ Viper. Determining sex. Whoa, small penis detected.
It's actually going to determine sex by facial structure. Does anyone else smell a lawsuit here? Okay, Sony, please avoid the sexual recognition, because if you call a woman a man, watch out, she's coming for you, because she's some big fatty with a man face. Team Fortress 2 was recently taken over by the Soldier class. This bodes well for TF2 fans, because usually this means this is going to be an update for the Soldier class, which means new weapons. They also think there's going to be some kind of new mode. They expect it to be King of the Hill mode. None of this is for certain. It's all rumor, but the makers have a pattern of doing things like this, so it's almost certain at least something's coming for the Soldier class. And the PlayStation Network is releasing a pay-to-play game called Trash Panic. They basically pay 100 yen or $1 to get 3 lives. I am so iffy on this because didn't arcades all over the world go out of business for this very reason? Worry about how many times you died, putting in coins. I mean, are they going to give us a controller that has a coin slot now? This is a fail idea. No one wants to pay to play for games, certainly not on their console. The only good thing about this game is you can actually win home rewards. There are no trophies, but you can get some home rewards for home. And Red Faction Guerrilla also released some information on its $10 August DLC, Demons of the Badlands, but I don't want to get into it too much because it is full of spoilers. I will say this, it looks pretty awesome, but if you want to check it out, there's a full article in the sidebar you can click on, so check that out if you're drooling already. Seriously, clean that up. And the question of the week is this. Are you getting the Modern Warfare 2 Prestige Pack? Are you going to wear the little googly goggles? Let me know in a comment below or a video response. And this brings us to the end. I'll check you all next week. Have an awesome weekend, an awesome week, and I'll see you on 1 vs. 100. And seriously, if you have a 360, you better be playing that game. I want to see you there.